to my channel, and today we're going to talk about a an aspect that I found in Jungkook birth chart that I thought that maybe this aspect was a hard thing for him because it is in his a really important house in his birth chart, which it is Saturn in the third house. And as we all know in astrology, the third house rules the communication and the style how we communicate and our relationship with our siblings and neighbors and social media and writing. So yeah, the planet Saturn in that house, I think that when I saw it, I thought that maybe in his childhood, early life, there was some kind of bullying. Maybe he was someone that doesn't know how to express himself well, and people misunderstood that for being someone who is not easygoing. People would think that he is shy and doesn't want to talk, or someone who thinks that he is better than them. But that wasn't the case, because Saturn really in this house makes it hard for people to communicate and to talk freely. We really saw that side in the earlier years of his career. He really didn't talk, and this aspect as well makes people funny. Like, he doesn't say much, but when he talks, it's always a funny thing because he thinks very hard before talking. Yeah, and he really takes speaking seriously. He doesn't speak without thinking beforehand. So yeah, I think that there was some kind of bullying, either by a caregiver or his peers, I don't know, but someone like that. And because in this aspect is very common under this type of energy, this also can bring on an immense feeling of self-consciousness and can cause him to be sometimes very critical towards himself and others as well. And in his earlier days, he has this sense of shyness and awkwardness. It plagued on him, and the person we are seeing today, someone who's healed, he really healed himself and became so much more comfortable and at ease in his own skin. He really may find it challenging to trust himself because he was programmed to override his instinct in early life. Usually people with these aspects learn that they sound like they should just listen and not talk, and he finds that he is absolutely on point when he talks. So that really something that he learned by staying silent and just observing his surroundings. And he really needs to trust in himself. Yeah, this is a worthwhile lesson for him. And I think that he really did develop in this kind of, we're talking just about the past, because now in the present I think that he really healed in this area. And this aspect gives him that characteristics of being selfless. He really have a self to give away. So delving into who he is and why he is here and embracing sacred selfishness comes highly recommended for him. And he really have to come in terms with any fears that he can assist with self-acceptance. He really have this problem with self-acceptance, and I think the danger with this placement is the egoic urge to cling to the superficial aspects of reality rather than taking a deep look within himself to bring up some of the gems. He also may be challenged with control issues, like he have this need to control everything, and it may be expressed in an indirect or subtle way that rather than overtly. These aspects really indicate that he have a difficult time with surrendering, and this can cause him to take on way too much responsibility. This placement also is one of like people that you can count on have this placement. He's always gonna do what he say he is going to do. He never lies and very dependable. However, this also can sometimes be like lead him to a burnout and makes him involve himself in a stress-related health challenges. He really stresses himself by taking on more responsibilities and being dependable more than he really supposed to be. I think with this placement, he needs to focus on that embodiment through practices like yoga and simply going for a walk or a run, any form of inward reflection like therapy, journaling, reflection, and meditation will help him a lot. He may also have this fear of saying the wrong thing and that inability to communicate what is on his mind, as well as the fear of ideas, ideologies, and thoughts unknowing, are a few things that can come with this Saturn placement. I think that maybe when he was growing up, he heard phrases like from the elders, people who have control over him. He heard phrases like children are to be seen and not heard, speak only while spoken to, say this, not that. They always controlled how he spoke, like you can't speak now. He was always the younger one. He doesn't have a say in this, and he was told just to stop talking, only listen. And I think that this was really pretty sad, because Saturn in here really makes it hard for people to express themselves and feel really unheard. It is as feeling as you're talking and nobody's hearing, or as if you were speaking under the water. Like no one can speak under the water, but if you do, it's like so hard and nobody can hear you. So that's how he felt, and I think this applies more harder on his younger years when he was young. And in the latest years, we have seen so much progression in the way he communicates and expresses himself, and I think that he healed in so many ways. Also, this placement causes, if you have siblings, they can bully you, but I think In this case, Jungkook didn't really grow up with his siblings, so I think their relationship is more formal rather than just any other siblings. And he may end up in the future have maybe trouble communicating with neighbors. So I advise him to really try and live somewhere like a house that doesn't have neighbors, so that he can really be just himself without having some problems with neighbors. Also, this aspect indicates that an early education often has a profound impact on him, and maybe he was denied access to early education, and that's not a maybe, that's a fact, because we have seen that when he became a singer, he didn't really attend school as the other kids and didn't have really that kind of education that was like just normal as other people. So yeah, these aspects give this restrictive and limited education system in the sense that it really was a challenge. Also, it is common to see children with this aspect denied engagement with other children, such as children who were homeschooled in a rigid environment. So yeah, we can translate that in his situation, that he really didn't engage with other children in a normal school type of, like, he didn't really go to school every day and have normal life in school and education. These aspects not rather have only negative effects on the people who have it, but also have some potential out of many, is to become super diplomatic and actually embrace genius, especially after his Saturn return. And we can see this even now, like he will begin to embrace education, knowledge, and to express himself from that space, and also learn how to express himself, his truth, which also comes from qualitative and emotional experience. When he bridged the heart and the head, he also can really become quite a brilliant thinker. And he is a brilliant thinker, but I think after the Saturn return it will become more like shown, more clear, and more developed. All of these challenges that comes with these aspects can definitely be overcome, maybe through regular engagement in his mind in a non-linear and multi-directional thoughts and ideas. Like maybe he should regularly write and speak with others despite how challenging it can be. And I think this Saturn placement above all is a reinforcing thing, to like he can reinforce himself through affirmations and initiate a unique brilliance in his thinking. I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to say. This is just another aspect that I've really found interesting, and I've really loved studying Jungkook because he really a person that have a lot of planets in retrograde and have a lot of difficult aspects and also a lot of great aspects, but he showed us that everything can be done, everything can be achieved if we really put the hard work. His life is not as easy as it seems. He really did live a lot of challenges, and he really not having it easier at all. I will be talking about another aspects and a lot of things, and this really makes us understand the artists that we love and we follow, and we really care about them. So I think that him giving us his birth of time, the time of his birth, was really a blessing for us to know and study this human being that is really a phenomenon. He is really not an ordinary person, and he really deserves this success and this place that he is in. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. If any of you have any questions or recommendations, you can comment below. And thank you. Bye bye. See you again.